turn now to West Covina. A scary situation here. One young man is dead, two others in critical condition after they were found unconscious inside a car. NBC4's Rick Montanez live right down the neighborhood where it happened with details on how they were found. Rick.
And Mac, neighbors tell me they found those three young men while they were out for a walk this morning, parked in a car right across the street here. And tonight they are certainly surprised to hear one of those young men died. One neighbor shared some home surveillance video with us just this afternoon. It's a strange situation because they say the car showed up overnight around 12:30 and did not move from the spot where it parked. One neighbor tells me he saw the lights on the car, lights of the car on around 1 this morning. They were off when he looked again around 3 a.m. Then later this morning around 10:30, several neighbors out for a walk spotted the men in the car, tried to get their attention. That didn't work, so they called 911. Firefighters and police eventually showed up, and in the video we see them performing CPR, then rushing the men to the hospital. Two men at that time in critical condition, the third man pronounced dead, and neighbors here do not recognize the car or those three young men inside.
I think myself is drugs. I think it has to do with drugs.
West Covina police at this point have not said what happened to the men. West Covina firefighters say all three of them are in their 20s. Their names not yet released by investigators. We're still waiting to hear an update from police on how those two surviving men are doing in the hospital right now. And we also have more of that surveillance video that actually shows one of those young men in the car moving around early this morning. We'll have that part of the story on the news at 6 o'clock. For now, reporting live in West Covina, Rick Montanez, NBC4 News.
Thank you, Rick.
This is NBC4 News at 6.
Now at 6, a gruesome discovery in West Covina. Three young men found unresponsive inside a car. One later died at the hospital, and new surveillance video could offer clues into what happened. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kathy Varak.
Hi, everyone. I'm Makala Medina in for Adrian tonight. It's quite a mystery here. Let's go straight away to NBC4's Rick Montanez, live in West Covina, where he's talking with neighbors who spotted that car. Rick.
Yeah, neighbors say this is so strange. Those three young men are not from this neighborhood. They say the men sat in a parked car across the street for about 10 hours, and that's also according to some surveillance video we're showing you now. One of the neighbors provided this for us. At first, though, no one here on the 400 block of Michelle Street thought anything of it since the car parked here around 12:30 overnight. The neighbor who shared this video with us pointed out that around 10 this morning, one of the men in the back seat could be seen moving around. He never got out of the car on his own or opened the door for the neighbors who knocked on those car windows, and that's when the neighbors really became worried and called for help. West Covina police and fire responded, even pulling the men out of the car, performing CPR, then rushing all three to the emergency room. One of those men died at the hospital.
That's kind of scary because, you know, whatever happens here, you can see there's a lot of kids here, you know.
And police have a copy now of that surveillance video, I'm told. Neighbors I talked with out here say they do not recognize the car or the men inside. Firefighters tell us all three men are in their 20s. Their names have not been released at this point. And some of the neighbors around here suspect drug use as the cause for all of this. Police are not commenting on what exactly happened to those three young men. We have calls into the police department asking that question, and we'll certainly update you when we get that information. Reporting live in West Covina, Rick Montanez, NBC4 News.
Rick, thanks so much. Two firefighters